Hey, what's going on? And welcome to another episode. So today I want to talk about the compound effect and what that is. I'm pretty sure you heard about compound interest. I'm pretty sure you've heard Albert Einstein talk about the compound effect being the strongest force in the universe. So if you haven't heard about these things, I really feel that you should go ahead and take some time and look at other videos about these things. But I'm talking from my method, from the way I see what the compound effect is about. So the compound effect to me is basically understanding that when you take one thing and then you keep applying it over and over and over again, that you'll see results. And then over time, these results are bound to increase exponentially. So if you look at the formula like x squared, x squared basically exponentially moves up by the factor of 2, or x cubed. So you want to focus on that, like basically the value of x increases by a factor of 3, and these things are very they're people say that math isn't, you don't have to do anything about math, but math is all around us, and if you think about math in the way I see what math is that instead of you trying to understand the math without any particular application applied to it, then you won't be able to really grasp on how it means to you. So you can take, if you're in school, you have student loans, you might have student loans, you might not, but you might have an interest rate. Your interest rate is an example of what compounding could basically mean, meaning that your principal is, basically it increases by whatever your interest rate is, and you multiply that, and every single time you multiply that, the new value gets basically applied again and again and again. So basically, I think there's certain terms they say that if you increase gas with $1, at the beginning of the year, and then you increase it every single day, by the end of the year it would be a huge number, and it would be impossible sometimes for certain people to understand that, that huge number. But just assume that you go from $1 to some huge number. Now, if you think about these things in the work that you actually do for yourself, imagine you went ahead and you did something every single day, no matter what, the same time, same place, no matter where you are, no matter what's going on, you do it. And I think that this is a great opportunity, because right now you can see that I'm actually going ahead. This guy, random guy on the internet, puts himself online and says, hey, I'm going to go ahead and make these videos for people. I'm not telling people what's going on. Well, actually, it's not all about just making sure the video is out there for you. It's actually for myself too. Me being able to learn how to talk into the camera, me being able to listen to my voice, making sure that I'm looking presentable in front of the camera, being able to make sure that what I'm saying makes sense to not only to you, but to myself, reinforcing the things I'm actually believing in every single day. And I think that this is something that could really be important for everybody's business. If you're looking to build a business and you don't necessarily know all the things to go ahead and do, maybe the first video you should basically say is, I don't know where to start. You say that to yourself, and I think that your mind will actually try to help you find the answer. I think that that's kind of like where we're moving in our life right now, where instead of us focusing on trying to be as good as someone else, we look at ourselves and we see how we can become better by interacting with that person, or interacting with that job, or interacting with that experience. And we move from one experience to the next, And even though you might not get the popular idea of what success is, you still get something. You still have X amount of time spent towards that thing, and you still are pretty valuable to not only to yourself, but now to others who are coming up behind you. So you have to understand that, like, we're as human beings, we have our minds. We kind of don't really use our minds that way. We don't understand that the way that we see it actually interests in how we feel. If you think that there's some sort of like great danger ahead of you, your mind wants to keep you from doing that, and it releases that mental emotion called fear that allows you to not even move with it. It's kind of like if you're like you are about to jump out of a plane, if you're doing skydiving, you know, your mind will try to tell you, like, you know, don't do it because this is not supposed, it's a defense mechanism. But when we look at ourselves as a business, you know, we take chances too, you know, and you can't let the fear of like what's going to happen beforehand. You have to make calculated guess or calculated choices that makes the chances that, you know, well, that the failures that you have, that they're balanced or monitored, so that way you don't necessarily, you know, lose, that you're not locked out of the game entirely. This is what insurance is about. You know, insurance has a people like actuaries who will sit down and calculate several variables in a particular given, you know, set, and then try to figure out a way to give people a competitive price for their insurance. You know, or if you go ahead and you are let's say we're trying to go ahead and we're trying to build some sort of like, I don't know, we're building an engine for a plane, you know. They have this thing called engineering statistics. I remember taking in school one time where we would utilize like the standard deviation of like chances of like some sort of, you know, malfunction that would happen in the engine, you know, and then they would try to run that through these numbers and try to give an idea on like what's the chances of this particular engine failing at any given time. And those things are really fascinating. And when I started taking math classes like that, that really became the desire to actually continue to push my head, because I knew that there was so much more I was going to learn from it. So basically the idea of this whole entire video is really to make sure that you're moving the information and your thoughts and wants and needs around in your mind, very similar how you move the colors of a Rubik's Cube around to get a certain color. Like, you know, some people might live with the Rubik's Cube not, you know, showing solid colors all around the each side. You know, it might have it where a few of the extra cubes is on each side. That still doesn't mean it's not a Rubik's Cube. It still is, and it still can be fixed, still can be altered, but we have to understand that we need to do that for ourselves, you know. So take some time and write those things down and try to see what you can do in your life, to what adjustments you can make in order to actually get the desired result that you need. Because once you figure those things out, you can just keep going to the top. And whatever the top basically means, it could just mean the next level, it could mean the next 10 levels. But I'm going to leave it right there. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next video.